Back when I was a lot younger, I noticed something unusual about charities. I remember the March of Dimes. The March of Dimes was set up to eliminate polio with their research. Well, in fact, they did eliminate polio, and we all got our polio vaccines. We lined up, and some of us took sugar cubes, and some of us took shots, and pretty soon the whole thing was under control. There weren't kids lying around in iron lungs or limping around the school anymore after that, or soon after that. So the March of Dimes probably should have dissolved. But hey, there was a lot of people involved in that. They had board of directors, they had managers, they had all kinds of people involved in their fundraising activities. So, do you really want to put all these people out to pasture? Well, of course not. So they had a big board meeting, I'm sure, and decided they had to come up with something that was more permanent. And they did. They came up with the idea of birth defects. Well, birth defects are caused by a variety of different things, and there probably would never be a cure to all kinds of birth defects. So they pretty much ensured them a lifetime of fundraising. Well, nowadays, we don't seem to have as many of the big fundraising operations going on as we did back then. But now we have people supporting different kinds of causes. There's all kinds of causes going on out there. There's Black Lives Matter, BLM, LGBTQ Pride, Gay Pride. There's the gender identity people. There's Antifa. We've got all kinds of things going on. And don't forget the trans people. The trans people community, as they call it. I never heard of it much. I never heard of Drag Queen Story Hour or any drag queen stuff since I was in New Orleans back in the early 70s or maybe the late 60s. I went to a drag show in the French Quarter, and that's the last time that I ever saw anything to do with drag until just recently. So apparently that's a new thing too. Another cause taken up by a bunch of people. Maybe some of them were trans, some of them weren't. But anyway, they have a cause. Well, the big problem that we have now is we're running out of causes. We need more new causes for people to take up. You know, if you don't have a cause now, you may not find one. You may not find one you like. I decided to put together a list of causes that might work for you. You can get started, you can raise money, you can get associates and people to help you. I just think the problem is people aren't creative enough about finding new causes. So I'm going to give you some help. One of the big causes in the USA used to be indigenous people. Well, now they kind of ignore indigenous people, and maybe all those causes are taken up. Maybe those problems have all been solved. Well, I have a new one for you, indigenous motorcycles. We need to get somebody on top of this one before somebody else grabs it. This is a really good one. This is Indian motorcycles. This indigenous motorcycle's been around a long time and really needs to get with the times. We don't call them Indians anymore. They're indigenous people. So we need a cause to straighten out that motorcycle company and come up with the indigenous people motorcycle. Kind of long, but I think they can fit it on the gas tank. I think that's a good one. I think somebody ought to grab it before somebody else does. Another thing that we could look into is white supremacy. Well, white supremacy is a big issue nowadays. Everybody says we have systemic racism and white supremacy. Well, just look at all of the cosmetic and pharmaceutical products, skin softeners, things like that, that are aimed at this market, and they have ingredients in them that promotes whitening. Well, damn, there's a cause if I ever heard of one. All it's going to take is a group of dedicated protesters to get rid of these things. They can call on the company and threaten the company, and pretty soon these products will be off the shelves. They may be off the shelves anyway because of all the shoplifting that's going on in the U.S. now. But that's another issue too. We'll have to work on that somehow. Maybe we can come up with shoplifter rights. Yeah, Ray and I think this little cat may have some sort of gender dysphoria. We're not sure if he's a girl or a boy. Sometimes it's hard to tell with cats, but for sure, this one doesn't know what he is or she is. So we're going to have to do some research and maybe take it to a vet that supports surgery for gender dysphoria for pets. You know, another thing that seems kind of unfair. It really should be taken care of by someone that wants to adopt it as a cause, and that's the cause of adjectives. Adjectives feel real left out now because people are paying so much attention to pronouns. And hey, I've got a couple of adjectives we can use for those pronoun people, and the adjectives I choose will be happy to serve. So maybe let's get together and get a cause going for protection of adjectives and using the proper adjective for the person that you encounter. I do think we could encounter a lot of adjectives that start with A. Yeah, these people that are into pronouns so seriously, I'm not sure that they're for real, but we adjective people could be for real. I do think that we can get this cause supported by a lot of people once we get it going. It just take a little while, but we can do it. There's a lot of people out there that need our adjectives. Another cause I was thinking of is this homeless problem. Homeless problem is pretty serious. So why don't we get them all travel trailers? I think that's a great idea. Let's get a group together. Let's raise money and raise awareness of the homeless needing travel trailers. They just need the trailer to stay in and cook, sleep. They can move their travel trailer anytime. All they have to do is get some generous motorist to stop and pull them somewhere else. Not a problem. So let's make that a cause. Travel trailers for the homeless. The last cause that I'm going to suggest today is one that I think we've needed for a long time. That's the defund influencers.
Because as I go through life and get to do so many cool, amazing things, I always remember in my brain that it's because of you. It's because of this community, this family, the family that watches my videos every Monday and Thursday.
Influencers are a real joke on social media, and we've got too many of them, and they really are unnecessary. We don't need all those influencers.
Can you guys just stop needing any reason to be mad and just enjoy something? Just be like, that's cool. Imagine getting mad about somebody hypothetically polluting when they didn't actually pollute.
Have you noticed that all the influencers start looking alike after a while? I'm not sure what causes that. But we don't need more influencers. So let's stop the influencers. And that's my last cause for the day. But you're free to organize and adopt any of these causes and get your friends to participate. And pretty soon you may be big. You may be a big operation. This is how things like the United Way started, or Black Lives Matter, or NAACP. They all started small, but they had a good cause. So feel free to grab one of these causes and run with it. This is JR, the Texpat, OTG, looking out for America. Thanks for watching.